ass pumped too. I want to, my car door opens too. When we go on a date, I want to go 50-50.
Y'all, we smoked her so bad yesterday. She blocked me. So typical. I smoked her so bad. She couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle the truth. I exposed her. I shamed her. We're bringing shame back. Somebody tried to send me a video that was on her page, and I tried to click on it because I thought she responded. Next thing you know, blocked. Ducking smoke. This is what we do, man. You can. Every time I get on somebody's ass, they just block me with no response. They can't beat me. I'm undefeated right now. Because why? You can't defeat logic. And it's just such a weak thing to do. You blocked me. You can't handle me? Huh? You scared? That's what I get from it every time somebody blocks me. Drizzle.
Drizzle, drizzle, good sir. Drizzle, drizzle. Men, sometimes a meme comes around that perfectly satirizes the feminist zeitgeist so well that women can't help but implode over its accuracy. Why? Because the Western woman looks at accuracy like Indiana Jones' Ark of the Covenant. Their makeup-caked faces just melt in the light of irrefutable stats and logic, to the point where they can't help but try and fire back. As we know by now, the effort is futile. All reasonable men are long gone, and we're spending much of our time saving money, building on our strengths, and laughing at how delusional modern women have become. The denial is strong, and that's what makes it so damn funny. Take this article titled, "I'm not pregnant or dating. I'm not even sure I want kids, but I'm buying a bunch of baby clothes." In it, Tracy Swartz writes, "Hats off to her. A Tennessee millennial who isn't pregnant, isn't dating, and isn't sure she'll even have kids says she has an attic full of baby clothes that she washes once a year. I don't know if I particularly want kids right now. I'm 32 and I don't have a partner," Katie Wood, a solicitor from Chattanooga, explained to SWNS. "But I love thrifting," she reasoned, and thrifting for any future kids has kind of become its own thing. Wood said she started out thrifting for her niece, Isla, 5, and her nephew, Ian, 13 months. Then she decided to keep some of her finds for her alleged future kids, so she can save money if they are, in fact, born. She keeps a box in the attic of 20-plus items of baby clothing, as well as shoes, with silica pouches for preservation. Wood says she's very open to letting a future partner know about her stash, and friends and family are on board. "We've got something to tell you, Katie. Your friends and family are about as supportive as the doctors in an 1800s insane asylum. They're not cheering you on. They're worried they might be the one that finally makes you snap. Nothing about this is normal. Even the blind can see that." Before we go any further with the video, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Chunkid, who said, "Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is her nature to weep when she wants her will," by Socrates. I honestly had to fact check if he really said it, and he really did, guys. So anyway, don't forget to reach out to my email to claim your $5. As always, guys, I'll be picking one comment from each video. It could be the funniest, the most liked, or the most wise, so don't forget to leave a comment, and you could be our very next winner. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button too, as it helps out a ton. So now let's get right back into the video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever.
The article continues with, when Isla was born in 2019, Wood began thrifting baby outfits for her niece, like hand-knitted cardigans and dresses for $3 or $4 each. She doubled down once Ian arrived 4 years later. Now, she's saving clothes for potential future children, so she can eventually save money on designer gear. Until my niece was born, I was set on not having kids, but I loved her so much. I could only imagine what it would be like to love a child of my own, Wood divulged. I realized I had to keep an open mind, and I started holding the clothes back so my future kids could wear them. Wood has even started to envision styles for her hypothetical kids. She wants them to eschew slogan t-shirts, big labels, and Disney gear for durable clothing like miniature Levi's jeans. I can always gift the saved clothes at baby showers if I don't give them to my own kids, which is a bit of a sad thought, she sighed. What is the my strange addiction is going on here? Gentlemen, here is what happens when women hit the wall. Unwilling to accept the reality that follows the carousel, they start playing house. Sorry, not sorry, Katie. No rational guy is going to walk in and see your vast collection of baby clothes and think, gee, well, that saves us a bunch of time. Let me put a ring on it. Nope, not at all. This is a case of sprinkle madness. This is what happens when you tell Western women that they have all the time in the world to get their lives together. They go out and build a monument to the sad, lonely future ahead of them, believing that this weird obsession will magically summon a guy with a 6-figure salary. Even when it comes to the professional thoughts, they don't seem to get the memo before it's far too late.
I lost my family. I don't talk to like my brothers or sisters. Like my dad don't want to be around me. I've lost my whole family and it sucks.
Do you find it tough to date?
Very, but I'm also not trying. I've been a serial monogamist for a while. I got out of a longish term relationship a few months ago. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, but I also haven't tried. But I don't know what I'm expecting. I haven't gone into the dating world in maybe 6 years. I've been in long-term relationships.
Ah, yes, serial monogamy, the fembot term for riding the carousel so hard that your track record is permanently circulating all over the internet. Here's the truth, ladies, you are not among the trafficked or disenfranchised. You went into this industry with terabytes of information at your fingertips. Refusing to get a normal job, you became a glorified exhibition escort for the masses. Aging was the only thing you didn't account for. Speaking of, here's another article titled IVF Ruined My Life. I sold my home and spent $165,000 on 6 rounds of mishaps and miscarriages by Hannah Sparks. She writes, a heartbroken woman has said she's giving up on being a parent, upending her life and spending an estimated $165,000 on in vitro fertilization. It feels like the death of a dream, said Katie Abdu, 37, who feels doctors gave her false hope. IVF has ruined my life. Now, the would-be mom in mourning is sharing her story with the hope that other women who are struggling through IVF won't feel alone, and urged the medical community to provide more support to single and queer people who seek to start families. Abdu said she'd always planned to be a mother, whether or not a viable father was in her life. I was never interested in being in a relationship, but I always wanted kids, the food broker from Plymouth, Massachusetts told Southwest News Service. Without a partner in her life, Abdu initially looked into fostering and adoption, but found those routes to be both expensive, bewildering, and ethically dubious. It felt icky to be buying someone else's child because they couldn't afford them, she said. After 5 failed attempts to get pregnant via ICI, including 3 early miscarriages, an X-ray revealed that her fallopian tubes were blocked, and that IVF would be her best and only option. After earning $100,000 from the sale of her home, she identified a clinic with affordable pricing in Albany, New York. She went in for her first egg retrieval in November 2021, producing 3 embryos. However, 2 didn't take, while the final miscarried within the first 5 weeks. Abdu said she was ready to give up at that point, but pressed on when her best friend, after a failed attempt to transfer a remaining embryo from her second round, which didn't take, and a third unsuccessful egg retrieval in April 2023, Abdu underwent surgery to remove polyps from her uterus. That's when she learned she was living with chronic inflammation of the uterine endometrium, or endometritis, what likely caused her fertility issues, physicians said. Abdu was given antibiotics to treat her ailing uterus. It was not an easy process. I had blackouts, I gained 50 pounds, she claimed. I used to be a confident person. I went from a size 10 to a size 22. Despite her heartbreaking journey, Abdu remains supportive of those who embark on their own IVF journey, though she wishes other potential parents could be more aware of the myriad complications before draining their bank accounts. I think there needs to be more support for single and queer people, she said. I'd love for more information on IVF to be available. There's a lot to unpack here. Katie, number 2, there are way too many red flags to count, but I'll do my best. For starters, this is what happens when you think you're the Kool-Aid man. Just because every institution in the West tells you that you're immortal doesn't mean you can bounce back when you're almost 40. All your life, you thought you could circumvent the value of men and play the game on your own. Now it's come to bite you in a big way. Newsflash KD2, selling your house to get pregnant isn't the sign of a good mother. Life doesn't resemble the dollhouse you proudly tossed aside for an ambiguous identity. All the story tells us is that Western women have become so delusional that they think it's possible to buy their way out of their biological reality. These chicks keep posting clips about how they can just extract bone marrow or harvest from simps. Then, when it completely fails, as is expected, the 304 Mafia releases the story to the press, thinking it's a tragedy everyone can relate to. But, as always, we know the truth. We know that Western women are beyond repair. Even if they end up having children, they usually don't even take the time to raise them.
250?
250, yeah, 250.
For the baby alone?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, so we're also going to make you reimburse health insurance of $250.
Excuse me?
That bring, oh, did you not hear me? You want me to say it a little louder? It's $250 for a health insurance reimbursement. Okay? Plus your child support obligation of $671.
Yes.
That brings monthly child support to $921.
Okay, well, if I gotta pay that, I'm not coming around. Like,
And you know what?
You're either gonna get
And
child
you know
support or
what?
time.
I missed something. I missed something because your parents asked for back pay.
Hello.
back
They
pay.
asked for back pay since the baby has been living with them. That comes out to $5,526, and I'm going to have you reimburse that at $100 a month.
Thank
so
you.
that $921 plus an additional $100 comes out to $1,021 that you're going to be paying your parents every month.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Even
welcome.
though I was coming to visit him and stuff, like,
Even
Visit.
though you were coming to
Yes.
visit, you just said something key. You said visit. You're the parent. They should be visiting,
Hello.
not the other way around. They've raised you and your sister. It's not their responsibility to raise your child. So since they have chosen to take on that responsibility, you're going to be responsible for the financial side. Is there anything further?
no, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything further, Mr. and Mrs. Harrell? I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Paul. I called you by your first name,
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Paul.
that's okay. That's okay. Anything else, baby?
Well, let's take what we can get because anything else.
Okay. No, I think that's it.
Okay. Excuse me, ma'am?
Yes, I'm sorry. Excuse me when you get done.
Yes, ma'am. Was there something else you needed to
No,
let me know?
ma'am.
Okay. I heard you mumble a little bit. I didn't know if you had something else to say.
I had something in my throat.
Oh, okay.
I bet you did.
Drizzle, drizzle, boys. Drizzle, drizzle. If only the court systems treated single men as well as they did grandparents, we'd be looking at a very different society. This thought had the gall to argue that, because she came by every now and then to say hi, she represents the pinnacle of motherhood. Unfortunately, when it comes to Western women, if you saw the last two articles, it comes as no surprise why these broads feel this way. They'll buy mounds of baby clothes at a discount price, try IVF when they've reached middle age, or toss their own child to the parents who raised them. But they'll never acknowledge what it takes to be a real mother because, well, let's face it, they don't know what that would be. In truth, the modern woman isn't really a woman at all. Moreover, they have no idea what they want to be. It's why, with men out of the picture, they turn on each other at the drop of a hat. As men have stepped back, feminists have created their own Hunger Games. Take this final article titled Why Women Troll Women Online. Strong, independent female Susmita Baral writes, women are disproportionately the victims of online harassment and the culprits are overwhelmingly men. So it is easy to overlook an unfortunate counterintuitive reality. Women are actively taking part in harassing women on the internet as much as men, if not more. Shaming them on everything from their bodies and sexuality to their lifestyle choices and religion. Plus, there's some quantitative data to back this up, since earlier this year, British think tank Demos looked at 10,000 tweets over a 3-week period from 6,500 unique users to find that half of misogynistic tweets came from women. In the big picture, the reason women harass other women on the internet can be attributed to understated sexism. Males and females, in many ways, are comparable in their sexism, says Marianne Lafrance, a social psychologist and professor of psychology at Yale University. The usual assumption of sexism is something that males engage in, primarily, and women engage in very little, but that's not true. But there is more at play than sexism, and the driving force of such behavior is complex. According to Haynes, there are two key elements working in tandem. One is social comparison. People are wired to see themselves in a favorable light, and they do this by comparing themselves to similar others, like individuals in the same career line, age group, or gender. Women who do not compare favorably next to other women may be inclined to spread negativity as a way to feel better about themselves. It evokes jealousy or envy, says Haynes. The way that they deal with it is to try to bring them down a little bit. The mental gymnastics never ceases to amaze me. In the same paragraph, this chick writes that harassment is overwhelmingly men, but then shares a statistic proving the opposite, only to try and justify it with pseudo-intellectual psychobabble. Western women, here's the truth. You don't like yourselves. You talk all this big game and share prideful videos and photos showing a fictional life full of happiness, but the mask slips as soon as you turn off the webcam. You know this course isn't going to end well, but you just can't help it. You have a disease, and for most of you, the cure is far out of reach. In fact, you dislike yourselves so much that according to this last article, you don't like to see each other succeed. Without a common enemy, aka a normal guy trying to live his life simply, you do what you always do. You turn on the nearest person to blame them for the hellscape you voluntarily created.
I met Trey back in 2013. We went to college together at Indiana State University. He's a part of a fraternity there, so he was real known on campus, seen around a lot.
Which fraternity is that?
The Alphas. And so...
Well, it's a good thing men are built differently. While the feminazi boat keeps moving, refusing to put out the flames, we find ourselves in a supportive environment with no concerns. Go figure. Remove the common denominator and suddenly, all of the nonsensical drama dissipates almost immediately. We can't lie. We love to see it. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.